national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. But I have one request to make to you. As we prepare to stand, sicela siyothule sibonise imbeko to the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. And as I do so, I also would like to request you to all stand. Thank you.
Kosigeleli Afrika malupagamisu pololayo izalimithandazo yethu Kosi sigelela thina uswapolayo Murena hulu sitshaba sa Yesu ufeditse litali matswele sibuluke sitshaba sa Yesu sitshaba sa South Africa South Africa, and blood for ounce, yam, and dear for Sia, and it can say, for Sia, so to come together. And united we shall stand. Let us strive for freedom. In South Africa, our land.
Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are also going to call upon, thank you very much for that, call upon Pastor Senona to open this meeting with a prayer for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, mighty warrior. It's a wonderful day. Wonderful day. Oh, yes. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. Oh, yes. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. Oh, yes. It's a wonderful day. Thank you, Jesus. Ifila muzimuliri. Ngapi Psalm 23. Yehova ni mulisa wanga. Atinga shaichitu. Kapi Psalm 27. Iri mrena. Kisiya cha shango. Yehova kimudisha warna. Ifile kisiya cha sarina. Kaurielo wote ritiago rimrapele. Rimuloshe. Rimuni aditeto liditumisho. Hallelujah. We are going to pray now. Father Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Mudimwaka kitapila fato sabona misonya lichachila lukhonu. Yafa obani aditeto liditumisho. Kauribona bayafanelwa hoshi ya mahoshi. Unai waditeto liditumisho mudimwaka. Riaba udisha hoshi ya mahoshi. Ina mrena. Bwana babulechi garupi salmi ya masumi pedishu pa Jehova. Bariba siyecha sale fahasi. Kika hoshi ya mahoshi limisonya lichachila lukhonu. Ririsana siyecha gasta sitagelele. Garugo organization yarna ya UDM. Mudimwaka uri iya ibone gelele fahasi. Riaba lebuga hoshi ya mahoshi. Riaba ni aditeto liditumisho. Riaba udisha mrena. Bayafanelwa Yehova. Ngahudisiwa. Bamurena wa marena. We glorify your name. We give you all the glory. You are Jehovah El Shaddai. You are Jehovah Mesi. Riaba leboga kgoši ya magoši. Riaba ne ya dithetho le ditimišo Jehovah. Re misong ya letšatši la lehono. I apply the blood of Jesus. Jehovah ke fatotšhetša motho mongwe na mongwe. A re one misong ya letšatši la namusi. Gore Jehovah ha ba yo funga ye tšitšietša. Pelong tša ba kgoši ya go loka. Go bonagale bona morena. Go hodišiwe bona bošego le mosegare. In the mighty name of Jesus, I thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Viva UDM, viva! Viva UDM, viva! Amandla! Amandla! Viva Bantubonke Holomisa, viva! Viva the People's Republic of South Africa, viva! Mandla! Thank you very much to Mama for Umtandazo, President of the United Democratic Movement, Bantu Holomisa, NEC members of the UDM, PEC members here present, Regional Executive Committee members also here present, members of Parliament, MPLs, councillors, traditional leaders here present, UDM members, fellow South Africans, thank you very much for gracing this occasion with your presence, and thank you very much for joining us namhlanje as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the United Democratic Movement. But before we call Umtolandelayo, I would like us to show South Africans that this is a political gathering. Kesibabonisa ukuthi kwa UDM kuyaculwa maqabane. Makhe siculeni sicacise uba siyi-political party and a political home for all South Africans, so that those who are members of parties that cannot sing bakwazi ukuzapha bayazi ukuthi sinemilonji apha. Masiculeni maqabane. Zipi Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. Masicule sonke, sonke. This is a celebration. Hey, emzabalazweni, emzabalazweni. Emzabalazweni. Come on! Hey! Emzabalazweni. 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 Makabani masiganyuke kongeni masiganyuke Amandla Amandla Viva UDM viva Amandla Amandla Mayihlale phansi bamba umthetho Mayihlale phansi baba umthetho. Viva UDM, viva! Asiyeni Maqabane. Asiyeni Maqabane. Imzabalazweni, ihlasis. Amandla! Comrades, I know and I understand that we are all happy, we are all excited because we are celebrating our 20th birthday. I understand and appreciate that. However, Maqabane asikwazi uzapha kaloku eliqonga alikwazi uthatha wonke umuntu. Niyibambile. Kanithi noyika ntoni na? Uyingwe sathubulisa. Watsho kamnandi. Noyika ntoni na? Ningamagwala. Satsho kamnandi. Noyika ntoni na? Noyika ubantu na? Noyika ntoni na? Satsho ka. Kula! Uyingwe sathubulisa. Satsho kamnandi. Noyika ntoni na? Ningamagwala. Jene satsho kamnandi. Noyika ntoni na? Satsho kamnandi. Uyingwe sathubulisa. Watsho kamnandi. Holomisa. Watsho kamnandi. Amandla! Uyingwe sathubulisa. Oh, satsho kamnandi. Amandla! Viva UDM, viva! Viva UDM, viva! Viva UDM, viva! Mayihlale phansi ibambe umthetho. Mayihlale phansi ithule ithi tu. Yes, comrades, yabona ngoMaqabane ndiyaziva uba ndikwi-political event. Ndiyayiva ukuthi yes, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of one of the most important political organizations in South Africa. But now, without further ado, we are going to move on to the next speaker. It's important that, as I prepare to do so, I first introduce myself to you and say my name for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm presuming that everyone who's in this hall actually knows who I am because you elected me. I'm Ngabayomzi Kwankwa, the Deputy President of the United Democratic Movement. I am going to be your program director for today. Ndinenyhweba ke Maqabane uba ndibe kanti ndiphethe umsitho onje on behalf of Umbuto United Democratic Movement. But now we are going to call upon the next speaker. His speaker, the first speaker actually for the day, our national chairperson, Utatula Visa Mangale ndithi abantu abangayaziyo before you come to the podium, Tata, is that kaloku Deputy Commissioner, National Deputy Commissioner ukuqala kurhulumente odemocratic woMzantsi Afrika. Loo nto ke ibona ukusithi sinequality kwisikhokelo se-United Democratic Movement. To my national chairperson, sir, please come and tell us why we're here today, but more importantly, please come and welcome not only the people who are gathered here in this hall today, but welcome the South Africans, the millions of South Africans who've joined us at home. Sabulela Tata.
Program Director, thank you very much for this opportunity. UDM President, Bantubonke Holomisa, fellow national office bearers of the UDM, UDM provincial and regional leaders, national leaders of associate structures, members of parliament and legislatures, as well as councillors, leaders of the Young Professionals Forum and Progressive Students Movement, honored guests, UDM members and supporters who are in the house, and each person who is watching at home. We have in our midst traditional leaders from the Eastern Cape, in the OR Tambo region in particular. It gives me great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to you all. What a beautiful sight to see. Can we give ourselves a good clap? Today is a happy day. Can we clap our hands once more? Due to your presence, our gathering has a special meaning and takes us to the next level as we celebrate 20 years of a united effort to transform South Africa into a winning nation. The sea of faces in front of me makes my heart swell with pride. The fact that you have all traveled from the length and breadth of the beautiful country of ours is a testament to your dedication to and love for the United Democratic Movement, the UDM. Some of you might have joined the UDM 20 years ago, some might have joined yesterday, but we all share or tuned in for one reason, and that is to remind ourselves of the party's journey in the past 2 decades. But more importantly, what our next 20 years looks like, and of course, beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, it is especially heartening to see so many young faces in the audience. It means that the UDM is doing something right, and that once I retire from active politics, can be rest assured that you will run with the ball in the future. In your energetic hands, the prospects of the UDM looks bright. In conclusion, sir, I invite all of you to relish today's event in the spirit of South Africanism, united by our love for the country and in respect for life, dignity, and human worth of every individual who call themselves South African. I thank you. You are all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was our national chairperson, Utatula Visa, one of the leaders to whom we look up in this organization, a man of integrity. Thank you very much, Tatula Visa. One of the things I liked about his welcome address was that he said it's a happy day. Kukolangomit, if you're happy, clap your hands. If you're happy, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. But you see, thank you very much, Babula Visa. I think what is important, umongameli ndiyamazi uzamane ndibonisa iwatch phan. Sise right ngexesha president. Thank you very much. Ndifuna sithi kaloku usuka unational chairperson wethu uTatula Visa. One of the leaders zethu eziprominent ezinkulu. We must say zamfimfimfi, zamfumfumfu, sihlamba ngeye, fimfi, zamfimfimfi, zamfumfum. Mase! Sihlamba ngeye. Andiniva makabani. Zamfi. Zamfimfi, zamfimfimfi, zamfumfumfu, sihlamba. Zamfimfi, zamfimfimfi, zamfumfumfu, sihlamba ngeyezi, ngeyezi, sihlamba ngeyezi. Ndigeza ngeyezi. Mandla. Wonke umuntu olapha kwi-UDM uyazi ukuthi ndiyithanda kakhulu le ngoma. Maybe one of the things that makes us ukuthi pha nakula parliament bayakwazi usibona umhlambi sihlamba ngeyezi. Okanye it's also possible that imba ngiba nomsholozi imbhidi secret ballot iphansi umbhuku uqedzi because sihlamba ngeyezi. Andiyazi ke mgebe i-secret ndingathi ndiyivezile. Well, one of the things I did, a grave error I made, was not to acknowledge our associate structures earlier. Colleagues, comrades, grant me atonement for that error. Associate structures, firstly, EUDM Youth Vanguard, EUDM Women's Organization, NEUDESMO, our students' movement. Now we've gotten to the segment of the program. These are associate structures, ukuthi zichayelele in particular. Umongameli, but also deliver their own message of support. Noguti nazo zibonakala ukuthi ziyabhiyoza because the United Democratic Movement today. So before you come to the podium, comrades, I want to warn you that remember, you know that a parliament is started for 3 minutes most. And we're able to make a point here to ngala 3 minutes. Nithi ngosibanga started 3 minutes, ukwazi usibone endabeni sithethe for 3 minutes. So meaning a question yokuba 3 minutes ayikho enough for you to make your point, ayikho. So as it is our business, but strictly, we expect you to deliver your message of support and congratulatory message as well in 3 minutes. Utatula Visa will lead by example in this regard. So we are going to call upon a United Democratic Movement, students' movement rather, and our possibilities, Mr. Masono Abe, Nawe, ukuthi azothetha address le gathering. Abafundi ke bazawuziphakamisela inkokheli yabo ngengoma yabantu yazi mina. Ndikumother board ngoku sendastry ke abafundi. Mr. Ngawe iza ngaphambili uzokwazi ukuthi uzothetha sir. Siku aba bafundi abana ngoma. Yo, so yeka ulate is ulate yek.
Hello. Toluguti, hello. Toluguti, hey. Toluguti, hey. Toluguti, siya celebrator. Toluguti, abanye babengakazalwa when we established this organization. Engosi, comrades. Engosi Makaban. On behalf of the UDESMO, I wish to greet the Honorable President of the UDM, Mr. Holomisa, the National Chairperson, Mr. Lavisa, the Deputy President, Mr. Kwankwa, the Secretary General, Mr. Msomi, and the entire NEC. together with the provincial leaders, councillors, members, and supporters, with a special extent to the distinguished guests from all corners of our land. For the past 20 years, as I mentioned, that some of us were not even born. Some are now leading the organization. For the past 20 years, in the struggle against corruption and ensuring a well-built, maintained, established nation for all South Africans, the United Democratic Movement has scored and considered a number of things. Among such, it has produced most prominent politician in the leadership fraternity of our beautiful country, ensuring a better future in the roads towards the nation building. The UDM has also invested in the youth and student formation through the United Democratic Movement Youth Vanguard, the United Democratic Student Movement Organization. The UDESMO has also at its own consistently dealt with a number of issues and still addressing some key burning issues affecting students in the high learning institutions. Doing so, and also directing my message to all the students that are here and my fellow colleagues in the youth movement. Students themselves, I would like to say, by the virtue of you being the part of this prominent movement, you shouldn't be allowing yourself to be manufactured corrupt in the name of gaining a better education. Where UDESMO exists, the administration of such institutions will be shaken, and of course, accountability, corrupt-free, clean governments will take a course. A call for promotion of skill-based academic to promote not only dependents but also entrepreneurs. In the process of engaging with the relevant affected parties, the UDESMO does not promote vandalism of whatever kind. Every time, comrades, when you're dealing with the administration of the institutions, please let us not vandalize the hardly earned infrastructure. Going so, we have another plans which we have, in fact, it's a proposal in our drive or in our way to gain a free quality education. And in that process, the UDESMO have solutions to our fellow students, to ask the national leadership, the higher education department, to seek assistance through the public-private partnership, that is the PPP, where the government should rather turn to private sector for funding and intensify, meaning that to sink in intensities or intensive to the education, towards the education. We understand the burning issue now is it's a fees must fall issue that is taking place. And on top of that, while we're calling to the National Department of Higher Education, we also ask that there is life after learning. We would like to have you better sharpen your future. And on top of that, to know that you have a role to play in these institutions of higher learning. You got a responsibility to practice your right to vote for UDESMO, for all United Democratic Movement associated structures. That will assist you that after obtaining your degree, you will be able to have your voice. You will be able to criticize the national government. In doing so, I would like to congratulate the organization, our mother body, in this return, and also inform you that we're ready to serve you in the next, not in 2019, but rather later than that. We would love to see some of our products being there in the parliament to debate. We have seen that the political landscape have changed a bit. So we call you guys to try, work on the ground, and also thank you so much. Amandla, Kawetu, happy birthday UDM, Engos.
Thank you very much. Without wasting time, we are going to call upon the next speaker. But as I do so, I think I'd like to take this opportunity to bulela Mr. Ngawe ngomyalezo wakhe wenkxaso nozama usibhiyozisa kule mini yokuba sigqiba i-20th anniversary. Ndizawubiza ke ngoku i-UDM Youth Vanguard. Sibize uMr. Kumkani Majija ukuthi eze ngaphambili azokwazi uthetha. Tulamdana mukalela, tulamdana mukalela, tulamdana, tulamdana,
mukalela, tulamdana. Otulamdana, kalelani. Amandla. Viva UDM, viva. Tata njengele tata. Amandla. Ngawethu. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to greet the president of the UDM. The Deputy President, the National Chairperson, the NEC at large, provincial chairpersons and their structures, the regional structures, the branch structures, members of the UDM, supporters of the UDM as well that are here today, the media that is covering this event of the highmost in the political landscape of South Africa within the UDM parameters. Allow me to greet you in the name of the UDM this morning. The UDM was formed in 1997 when the responsible leadership of this particular land, when they saw that the nation is growing astray, then they decided to form up a political home for all, without forgetting the diversity in our country. That is allowing black and white to be united in one force. And in that stage, it took its form in fighting the corruption in this country. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the UDM made sure that in all levels of government, they try by all possible means to fight against inequality, to fight against the economic policies that are being used that are not user-friendly to the South Africans, that the economy is producing nothing less, nothing in terms of the GDP. That means it allows each and every South African to be an employed South African and a South African that is able to sustain his or herself. Also, EUDM is always trying by all possible means to make sure that the system of education that is being used in South Africa is not a system that makes the young people of this particular country to be people that are able to, when they are the school leavers, to be able to make sure that in the labor force, they are able to take part. Also, even the graduates in this particular country are unable as well to make sure that economy yelizwe iyakhula. It means that as the UDM Youth Vanguard, we wish UDM a lifelong struggle when they are fighting corruption in this country. And the EUDM must make sure that The economic system that is used in the country is allowing each and everybody to participate, starting from the rich to the poor. Also, I wish the UDM leadership will take care of what you call an education system, whereby all school leavers will be able to be the productive labor force. A UDM Youth Vanguard, ladies and gentlemen, today, as it is the structure of the young leadership, also, we recognize that we are also the leaders of tomorrow. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it seems to be a negative energy that burdens our youth, and we need to rekindle the winning and the creative spirit that lies dormant in our youth members. In a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, we must challenge our youth to redefine their role and take the initiative, and in response to the mother body will play the role of a guardian and a protector, whilst our young people face their challenges head on. Lendo ithetha ukuthi, ladies and gentlemen, let us create youth members who are to be like Solomon Mahlangu, who fought toothless in making sure that the system for education in this particular country changes. It doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen, on the size of the dog. But what matters is the effort that the dog puts in a fight. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we will strive to ensure maximum participation and balanced representativity of our youth in party activities. And in the election process, they must take part as well, such as compiling candidates list. Consultative forum must be formed in order for us to be vigilant in the 2019 elections. Amandla. Amandla.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva UDM, viva. Masibulele Mhlekazi, uyacaca we young lion. You're also talking about vigilance. Going to the 2019 elections, we become extremely vigilant so that amasela angazibi votes zethu. You see, the important thing which I want to say about, especially about making sure that we have vibrant youth organizations or youth associate structures in the organization, is that I remember Andrew Carnegie, a master at identifying potential in America, once said, people are developed the same way that gold is mined, right? You first have to take out tons and tons of debt in order to get 1 ounce of gold. But if you look for the positives, it means you are going to find more positives. That is the approach that this party takes when it comes to identifying potential in young people. Not only identifying that potential, but harnessing that potential, and also making sure that when you err, we give you room and space to make mistakes so that you can grow. I am the product of that process yalapha internally. I'm the product of mentorship program, a party that took deliberate actions to say, let us mentor this young man. The bottom line is, the point I'm trying to make is that, omasono abengawa nabanye, kabanye okwankwa be United Democratic Movement, abenoba kanti abaziwa ngoku, but who are playing as prominent and as important a role as other leaders do in this organization. So the notion ukuthi abekho bakhona, niza kubabona going to 2019. Now I'm going to call upon Omama Malibongwe. Watinta abafazi. I always have a soft spot for Omama, and the leader of the party knows that. As we prepare to call Umam Mkhawa, the national chairperson of UDEMO, to come and address us. Masiti Malibongwe. Viva UDEMO, viva! Viva UDEMO, viva! Viva Kulufelo Mkhawa, viva! Amandla! Amandla! An organization engena mama ayinakamva njengoba i-organization engena youth engena future. Over to you, ma'am.
Halala, UDM, halala. All right.
Sizolithatha lelizwe kulamamene sizolithatha
Amandla! Amandla! Mayihlale phansi ibambe umthetho. Mayihlale phansi itholithi tu. No referee lo wanempempe yakhe naye makathi tu.
Viva UDM, viva! Viva Bantubonke Harrington, viva! Viva abafanzi, viva! We really feel honored as women to be given this opportunity to say a word or two. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta abafazi. Program Director, our President, Mr. Bantubonke Holomisa, and Deputy President, Mr. Gwangwa, comrades, protocol observed. I'm standing here, ladies and gentlemen, on this very day, on the 20th, celebrating the 20th year of UDM, as a woman. It is really a great, great honor to be privileged to stand in front of this great gathering composed of the old and in particular and the young, the educated and the non-educated, the rich and the poor, the powerful and the powerless people. Let me start by being a little bit personal, as I'm representing the ladies. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary of our political party. I wanted to bring along the very first T-shirt in 1997. So it means I am one of those people who are celebrating the 20th birthday of this. And I feel very much great. And I still wish that I can hold this, the very first UDM in 1997, I could hold that card until I go underground. I so wish. We know that women have played also a crucial role in the liberation of South Africa. Think of those very 20,000 women who marched. They were fighting. They were on a fight. So today, we are happy as the UDM to gather here to say, UDM, you have made us good. I like to quote. There is one of the philosophers whom I like so much, by the name of Maya Angelou. He once said, I quote, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but I must thrive, and to thrive with compassion, with humor, and with style," close quotes. By so saying, since the ladies have played a role in the liberation of South Africa, we really feel that it is right for us to stand in front of this gathering to say, let's hold on. Let's fight what we see. Women are vulnerable. We are tortured in many ways. We are raped. We are killed. We are, even threatened emotionally and physically, as I've already mentioned. But that should not draw us back. We should go on and fight. Re tshwanetse re lwe. Re tshwanetse re lwe because ke rena ba hore ba ile ga bana. Ke rena ba hore emišitšeng lefase. We must fight until we go down the what you call. We are at a particular point in time where gender-based violence has reached new heights. Society should admire women instead of ill-treating us. We are ill-treated, but it is high time that as women, we must stand firm and fight for our rights. We must fight without fear to go and call other women to show them the ill treatments we see, we meet every day in our lives. Let's recognize that the women of UDM are the glue that hold us together as a custodians of our traditions. We come from different areas. We have come here as the UDM to celebrate our day, or the day of our political party, which is finishing the 20th year. Good people, ladies, let's not stop working. Let's not stop playing. Let's not playing with our political party. Let's work very hard, because we should reach where we want to reach. I'm coming to conclusion, Mr. Program Director. We know we are unique, we are different. But our difference should bring us together to work very, very hard. The soil is very, very fertile, whereby we should stand firm and go out and tell the people about what the UDM is doing. In conclusion, Mr. Program Director, I would like to say, Viva UDM, Viva! Completing its 20th year, working with tirelessly, working day and night for our political party. Let's keep hold, let's be together, let's be united good people, so that we can take it to a higher level. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that wonderful message of support and a congratulatory note. Siyabulela, without wasting time now, we're going to call upon the gospel artist to come and render one item for us before we call upon the president to come and address us. We've made a few changes to the program. I will update you once the artist has finished singing. Thank you so much. Mageze ngaphambili. Azocula. Makazocula. Mandla. Viva UDM, viva. Viva UDM, viva. Asikhabe sithi abanye abambonanga ubantu ebedlula ngendlela esenza imiqondiso. Iyo animbonanga ebedlula ngendlela esenza imiqondiso. Masicule. All right.
Volume, please. Elohim. Elohim. Holomisa. Eloi Sabakatane Wotiklo wami. Volume please. Tiklo wami Ongishi Yelandina. Oh Eloi Eloi Lamasa Bagad. Oh Eloi. Oh, Giti wayelenga kondesi ipambandweni. Wayelenga wayelenga kondesi pamba. Watielo wayelo. Wayelenga wayelenga. God. Me. Somebody. I'm a fly.
On 20 September 1997, that's 20 years ago, I was still young. I came from a long political career. I felt convinced we have a change in the political thinking of South Africa. I would love to go into the history of the UDM, but time will not allow me. I have been involved in the structures of the UDM from the beginning. I had the privilege to chair the committee that wrote the UDM Constitution and all that happened after that. After I retired, I switched in a very personal consulting role to the UDM President, Mr. Bantubonke Harrington Holomisa. I have come to know him very well. I sometimes had to follow his lead, like this morning when he said to me, keep it short, just like that. Sometimes I had to give him direction. Sometimes I had to restrain him. Sometimes I had to encourage him when he was despondent. But most of the time, I always loved to inspire him because he is a splendid leader. In this difficult South Africa, ladies and gentlemen, for a small political party and a leader to survive is an exceptional achievement. Unfair political funding, floor crossing, and splintering all happened. Against all these odds, the UDM and Holomisa remains. He's standing and upright. And after 20 years, he's still here. Congratulations for that. When I came to know Bantu, I call him like that because he's my son, you see. He was absolutely headstrong, but always very dedicated. Now I can describe him as uncompromising, incorruptible, and a very political astute leader. Actually, he is a master player of politics. I've seen it in the last few months. Today, he plays an indispensable role in keeping coalition politics in South Africa in balance. And that is to stabilize good governments. It makes him a political heavyweight. Bantu, keep on fighting for South Africa. But I and the people here, we love you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you the President of the UDM, Mr. Bantubonke Harrington Holomisa, to address you.
Testing 1, 2. Amandla! Phansi ngamasela, phansi! Phansi ngamaxoka amatsha, phansi! Awuwe umbuso wamasela, awuwe! Our program director, ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate 2 decades of principled political struggle. Thank you for sharing your time and participating in this auspicious occasion. I want us to look back at what we have achieved together in the past, but to also look ahead at what we can achieve together, working towards a united future. We have every reason to be proud about the past and be optimistic about the future, both ours and the country. Today is a significant landmark, not just for the United Democratic Movement, but for South Africa. The political landscape of this country is changing fast. New opportunities are opening up. My friends, we have made it this far, and we are here to stay. We carved a niche for ourselves, and we intend to build on the foundation we have laid. It is no mean achievement. South Africa's is a rough political market to enter and succeed in. It should not be forgotten that although we were the first new political startup of the democratic era, we are not the last. Others have come, and most have also gone. The independent Democrats were ultimately swallowed up by the DA. COPE is struggling to keep their heads above water. Ahang, you still remember them? We do not wish to gloat, but we have proved to be resilient as well as principled. The UDM deserves to celebrate today. It seems like yesterday, but 20 years have passed since we began this brave journey. Some said we were foolish. Others echoed what President Zuma would later told the nation, that life outside ANC would be cold and lonely. As it turns out, life inside the ANC has not exactly been warm and cozy. Instead, those like me who dare to challenge the leadership and are willing to point out the errors of their ways find themselves sent to the ANC equivalent of Siberia or worse. I draw no satisfaction or pleasure from this fact, but today's ANC is a damaged organization, riddled with deadly division. It is dangerous, unstable, and unfit to lead our great country. So my message is this: South Africa is not the ANC, and these days, nor can it be said that the ANC is South Africa. It has lost touch with the ordinary men and women. It has betrayed its great history. It has lost its moral compass, and soon it will face the consequences of its disregard for its fundamental duty to serve the people when in 2019 the ANC wakes up to find that it has lost its majority. We have had to wait patiently for this moment, but we are ready and waiting and poised to serve our people as a member of a national coalition government. That is what lies on the horizon. At that point, the sun will rise on South Africa and a new dawn will break. When this happens, the country's democracy will really come of age. we can be hopeful. Instead of taking the well-worn path of so many of our sister countries in Africa, the UDM will deliver on our constitutional promise of a competitive multi-party democracy. This is why we began our journey. We took a stand on issues such as the lack of ethics and accountability that have become, sadly, all too familiar to all South Africans. I could sense the rot that was threatening to take a hold inside the ANC in the mid-90s. I argued against it, and instead of hitting the message, the ANC chose to shoot the messenger. So our starting point was accountability. We built our case based on our commitment to the Constitution and its underlying values, but in particular, the following: integrity, dignity, and prosperity. We have also walked this path. We have also walked this talk over the past 20 years. In memories, if memory serves, no UDM public representative, be it at parliament, legislative, or legislatures and in councils, was ever charged to appear before a court to explain their involvement in schemes of robbing the public purse through creative accounting, through tenderpreneurship, or jobs for pearls. Since 1999, our elected representatives have publicly lived the values of the UDM. We thank our leaders for not embarrassing us or making a fool of the UDM. Sorry. Yes, better champagne, madam. To add to this, on several occasions, we have used the institutional infrastructure that the Constitution established to hold the ANC government to account. Most recently, of course, in the secret ballot case, we persuaded the Constitutional Court that the Constitution gave the Speaker the power to order a secret ballot when a motion of no confidence is tabled against the sitting president. As a result of this case, the UDM brought the Speaker had no choice but order a secret ballot. And then we could see the truth. Around 40 ANC members of the National Assembly voted with the opposition that day. That was in early August this year. Never had more than one ANC MP voted against its whip, and even then only once or twice. So, for as many as 40 MPs of the ruling party to do so was a very good and a very big moment for the politics of this country, including the UDM. Never again could, if therefore was another nail in his, was another nail in the coffin of President Zuma. Slowly, bit by bit, we are removing this dangerous man from power. As the Guptas have wormed their way into the heart of government, so the democratic state has been captured. Ndingayicacisa nje kakuhle into kokuba asilwanga ne-African National Congress. Ndingomnye wabantu nibaziyo uba xa besengxakini ndiyabancedisa. Belekwa apha uPresident Zuma ngo-2009 ngamajoni e-Union Buildings. Umuntu wokuqala owacinga ngayo uba makabizwa azosolva le ngxaki yaba nguHolomisa. Therefore, i-UDM ihlonitshiwe kweli lizwe. Sukela ngoko uzomana namhlanje zange uphinde uve ngxaki zamajoni. Sisaphaya kula committee ndisancedisa ndingafuni nokwamkeliswa ngaloo nto ndabacacisela uba lena for free. So lilonke ke nto zakuthi masiqhubelekeni siye phambili. Okay. Conflict of interests are everywhere. Instead of serving the people, remaining loyal to the oath of office and to the Constitution, many political leaders and public servants have succumbed to illegal inducements. They have put their private interest ahead of their public duties. We have all suffered as a result. Billions of rands have been wasted instead of being invested on social services. It should have been spent on decent housing, hospitals, healthcare, safety and security, on land redistribution, on skills development and training and creating new jobs. Those responsible must be held to account. More than any other party, the UDM has understood from the very beginning the dangers posed by conflicts of interest of the sort that now contaminate the whole of government. That is why we took a stand on Advocate Pensi Tlakula and her mad moment of misjudgment in using her power as CEO of the Independent Electoral Commission to award a 320 million rands lease for a property owned by her business partner and the then ANC MP. We approached the public protector, who upheld our complaint. Unwisely, Tlakula resisted the public protector's findings, but she lost in court and was forced to resign. Once again, we were vindicated for our principled stance on an important matter of public ethics and integrity. Earlier, still, we had challenged the floor crossing legislation. We lost that case, but we can be proud that we made the argument and took a stand. It helped people understand what a despicable thing floor crossing was. All it did, ladies and gentlemen, was to provide a window for opportunists, weak men and women without principle or courage, to be seduced by promises of a safe place on the ANC's list at the next election. Like other opposition parties, we lost talent in this way on 2 occasions. It cost us in more ways than one. In the end, as is often the case, our argument prevailed and the floor crossing legislation was eventually overturned. Also, since its inception, the United Democratic Movement has suggested the Afrikaner as an example of what can be achieved when a government enables and empowers its people to pull themselves and it from the dust. After the South African War in 1910, hundreds of thousands of dejected Afrikaners streamed to towns in search of employment. The phenomenon was called the poor white problem. These days we have the poor black problem. As one journalist so eloquently put it, the Afrikaner, quote, inaugurated a new phase of industrialization based mainly on 3 things: cheap electricity, cheap steel, and cheap finance. For cheap electricity, the Afrikaners created what was then known as Eskom. For cheap steel, they established ISCO. And for cheap finance, they established or founded the Industrial Development Corporation. In 1999, the United Democratic Movement ran with the slogan, quote, the challenges of our time is that the government must do more. It is as relevant today as it was 18 years ago. It is a sad fact that the ruling party has neglected the people of this country, especially the so-called formerly disadvantaged communities. Instead of flourishing state-owned enterprises, many of which we inherited from the Afrikaner, rumors were abound that the ANC government wants to use public investment corporation funds to bail out SOEs. It is worse that this is not the first time they have bailed out the SABC, SAA, and so on and so on. This is utter nonsense. You ran those SOEs to the ground, and now you want to pilfer people's retirement monies. Lama sela ekufuneka siwaxelele every day. Dike ndinibekele ke briefly. Nditolike le nto bendizama ukuyitsho, ndingantyeli ixesha. Namhlanje siyavuya kokuba sibe silapha. Sizochaza ukuba indlela esihambileyo itheni na. Zange kube lula njengokuba nisazi. Sathi siqala nje sabe i-environment ingasivumeli. Kuba lokwa giants kwi-politics. Kwasetyenziswa ke zonke i-tricks ne-intimidation. Sabulawelwa apha noSifiso Nkabinde, First Secretary General. Ebulawa zi-bodyguards ze-mayor yase-Richmond ka-ANC. Fortunately, bagwetywa lo masela lawo. So litonke ndizama ukuthi sisuke ibende indlela esihambileyo. Kodwa ngoku kufuneka siqine siye phambili sithi make sure okokuba wonke umuntu wase-South Africa ukhululekile. Ingakumbi aba bantu bahluphekayo ndigqiba ukwenza ngoku ibali lamabhulu. Amabhulu angene embusweni enikwa ngamangesi. Amangesi awubesusiwe esihlalweni. Amabhulu aqala athatha abantu bababona babajone ezidolophini bezofuna imisebenzi. Bathi hayi masenze izinto ezifana no-railway, no-ISCO, no-IDC ukwenzela abantu bethu ba-empowerishwe. I-UDM yatsho kwakuqala isithi ngo-1997 i-state must intervene kwi-economy ikhulisa abantu baso. Bungaya koJamani nakwamanye amazwe nakoAmerica uzawufumanisa uba iirhafu zabantu ziplantwa back ziyephi ziye kubantu belo lizwe. Hayi okokuba zihambe zihlenge imilenze noZuma neGuptas. Ngeke sithi yes loo nto lezo. Xolele. The UDM does not play the short game. We are patient as well as principled. This is a record of political action in support of the Constitution and the principle of public accountability that we should be proud of. I congratulate each and every one of you who has walked this path together. You stuck with the UDM. Your loyalty is now being rewarded as our vision of a collaborative, multi-party approach to solving the big problems that face the nation becomes a reality. 2019 will be a watershed year. I have no doubt of that, regardless of who wins in Midrand and takes on the poison chalice of the succession to President Zuma. The ANC is beyond redemption. It talks of self-correction as it limps desperately towards December. But let me tell you this, the only correction that can now save them and all of us in this country is at the ballot box. My friends, 2019 rather, cannot come soon enough. Sithi njengoba besilwa ngethambo elingenanyama, besidla itax zethu, noba konyulwe bani kule conference yabo, i-UDM ayinaxesha labo. Kuba nangosibani nepha eParliament sithetha nje unothanda sibaxela indaba zabo sithi lamasela. Yabona lala magama kuthiwa bafuna uba ngoo-president athi hey uba ngaba besinoba nemali nje nathi sinokhwankwa lo ke siranelele singenelele le nto yobu-presidents ngisingababetha mana abantu akho bantu pha pasele eziyana ngoba bonke ubuyabafumanisa bagcwele kwezi nto zingacacanga sizilwayo. Recently I was in Germany observing their elections. It was interesting that real political conversation was not about election campaign itself, but what would happen after when a coalition government would need to be formed. Coalition politics requires certain skills to cope with the tensions that easily arise, as we are now witnessing or learning in Port Elizabeth. A lot of water has flown under this bridge in PE. But last Sunday, just before I left for Germany, the DA leader, Musi Maimane, called to arrange a meeting with me. We indeed met on the 17th of September. During our conversation, he considered that the DA, as a larger partner, had made mistakes in dealing with the coalition partners. He committed to rectify them, so we are waiting. Let me stress this. Coalition government is not easy. Inevitably, when different parties with different histories, different value systems, and different worldviews make the commitment to work together, it requires patience, tolerance, a willingness to forgive a mistake of judgment, and sometimes pardon those who have made those mistakes, or unwise language and decisions. I therefore say to DA and Mr. Maimane, our door is open and we are willing to listen and work together for the benefit of the people of South Africa. But what we are not willing to do is to be used as a stepladder in another party's fight to attain power. The UDM is an independent organization, and we will jealously guard our reputation. One of the few advantages of getting older is that one has learned a few lessons and developed a very, very thick skin. It has long been the UDM's hope that the opposition should work together and, where possible, collaborate and form coalitions. The UDM slogan today, as you can see behind me, it says, "Towards a united future," is quite apt in this instance. Apha kufuneka kucace le nto bakithi. Into yaseBhayi sithe kutrolip uba ngaba unento ongayiqondiyo ngwedeputy yakho. I-rules ne-regulations kamasipala ziclear. Uyawuthi xa ngaba ke ngoku apply ezo rules, loo nto umtyhola ngayo lo mntu umtyhola ngayo iye kwi-council. I-council ithatha i-decision. Mhlawumbi kusenothi hayi makaye kwi-ethics committee, ahambe mhlawumbi agxothwe phakathi okanye urecommend agxothwe okanye uyawonishwa. But akazange ayenze loo nto. Sathi ke hamba mbove-investigator, uyile ke wawu-investigator. Instead babuyele kwi-council, ngoku uhamba nale report aba kwi-briefcase yakhe ne-leader yakhe sithi hayi iyaphaya. If i-council itheni urongo trolip or urongo bobani, then thina ke ngoku siyipati sawuthatha i-decision ngalo mntu. Kodwa sizukuxelelwa yenye ipati. Hayi asikwazi. So siyipati respecta imithetho ne-obeya ne-principles ngendlela emakusetyenzwe ngayo. In line with this ideal, the UDM has for years advocated for South Africans to converge under one roof, to discuss our problems, and to find solutions as a collective. The reality is that the problem we face as a nation will never be solved by one political party. For a long time, we lacked the leadership as well as the numbers. The ANC brand was too resilient, and the electoral market was too tough to penetrate meaningfully. But slowly things have changed. New leadership as well as new parties have arrived. My role, and it is no secret, is to play the uncle role. There are two very strong-minded, determined young men in this country now competing for power and challenging the ANC. You know, of course, who I am talking about. But they are young. Their judgment may not always be perfect. They will also have to learn that in politics, ruthless ambition must be balanced with a sense of timing and patience. Frankly, I'm enjoying the responsibility that comes with this role, and I'm certainly relishing the opportunities that come with a stronger, more cohesive opposition that is willing to work together, united in the common interest. If we succeed, then we will reap great rewards, but we must earn the right to govern. The next 18 months will be decisive. All of us in the opposition, both on the national stage and in the municipalities, where we now find ourselves in government, must recognize that our primary responsibility is to the electorate. We must continue to play the long game. We must act maturely. There will be disputes between us, and rightly there should be continued debate about ideas and policies. But we must not allow inevitable disagreements to get out of hand. Otherwise, the electorate will look at us and reach one conclusion, that the opposition cannot be trusted with government. They are not ready for politics of coalition. And then they may say, better the devil we know, and return to the ANC. Yiyo ke lento ndathi kwi-meeting ye-leaders e-coalition, uTroliphe ehlela apha nobobani kwinto yaseBhayi. That jongani, njengoba ingathi nixabana ngabantu abangathi babambelene entokazi ethile, nisingayazi yona nto nixabana ngayo. If le nto yini ayipheli yale ngxabano, kuzawuba bhetele sinitsale nobabini, because the exercise esingene kuyo siyi-UDM sokudibanisa zonke i-political parties ze-opposition, yi-exercise esasingene kuyo singanxilanga. But uba kukho abantu abazayimosha, singenzeka sinicele nobabini. But ke ndiyabona, I hope uba uMr. Maimane ka-ICT uzibonile impazamo zakhe zepati yakhe, mhlawumbi uyawundikhumbula ndatsho twice kwi-meetings. Not Deputy President lo wayekhona ngexesha ndisitsho. Ubobani ke ndambona naye apha ngayingqina loo nto, kodwa ke ba ulisela mhlawumbi akazufuna ukuyingqina kuba ke andidibane nto engenanyani. We simply cannot allow the ANC to escape the crisis that they have created for themselves and the country. History will never forgive us if we do so. So the future is bright, but only if we are smart and clear-minded in understanding the nature of the opportunity that now presents itself. We must continue to work hard to build trust between us. We must develop the culture of coalition politics, just as the Germans from many decades of experience have done. We must figure out how to negotiate common programs for coalition government that accommodate all of the main priorities of the different coalition partners. Asikwazi members ze-UDM, ubabani utyholwa phaya kuthiwa uvota ne-ANC. But ubobani nazi into aziphikisileyo, and the agreement yethu clear. Ithi uba ngaba nivani nizi-coalition kwi-agenda ezaya kwi-council sanuyifaka until de nivani. Ungena kwakho ubobani uthi ye man, aba bantu usekretary lo wena Ntsika kwamasipala manje kuthiwa yimutoni ya municipal manager nomunye umama phaya, abantu kange ba-appointwe yi-ANC because abaqondakala into zabo. So make sibaphande, hayi ayibulldoze kutata lo uTrolip iye ku-council i-UDM ingamsupport. Ewes uthe xa ifaka into yoba makubheyilwe irabhi yase-Eastern Cape yaseBhayi nge-15 million, wathi ubobani ayikhona, kusekho abantu apho ndisuka khona abasala emabhakethini basasebenzisa amabhakethi, waye kuzawusetyenziswa le mali. So ngokotsotsi ngoba bafuna uyispina loo nto leyo kuthiwa hayi uvote ne-ANC. No, udifarisha ne-DA doesn't mean uvota ne-ANC. We are an independent political party and simele a certain constituents, and we are not going to be shy about that. So in this, we must recognize that opposition to the ANC and to the Zubtarization of the state is not enough to bind us together. We must find other sources of unity based on the principles of constitutionalism, of economic transformation and social justice. Above all, we must find a single compelling narrative about the economy and job creation. In other words, the UDM's prosperity pillar. Jobs, jobs, jobs. More than anything, we must create the right environment to convene a strategic conversation between the major players in our economy. Big trade-offs are necessary. There must be sacrifice and sharing of our wealth. But such a strategic conversation is impossible to imagine without a trusted government to do the convening. And this is where we in the opposition can really play a difference by offering a credible alternative. South African business is crying out for new political leadership. Investors are desperate for a fresh approach from government. Both want policy certainty, not populist rhetoric and reckless, empty demands for so-called radical economic transformation. They want to be able to trust public institutions. They want to deal with professionals in the public service and in the cabinet, not cowboys in the service of the Gupta family. We must hold those responsible to account, but we must also prepare an alternative narrative, a different vision for transforming our economy and creating the jobs that will deliver decent livelihoods to our people. So while the August 2016 local government election gave us a bridgehead and a glimpse of a brave new world, we have to get our acts together and deliver now that we have begun to dismantle the ANC's monopoly on power. We must keep our eyes on the prize. We must keep our eyes on the ball. Working with partners in the opposition and in civil society, we will continue to fight for accountability. Those in power must always be made to explain themselves, to justify their actions, their use of executive power, and their policy choices. That is what accountability means. And we have played our part in turning this democratic principle into practice. We have helped animate the institutions established by our Constitution, giving life to them by taking cases, making complaints, pursuing those who abuse public power and ransack the public purse, and using our hard-earned seats in national and provincial legislatures to pose tough questions to our MECs and ministers. I say again, the UDM can be rightly proud of its record and its accomplishment over the past 20 years. So life outside the ANC has proved to be anything but cold or lonely. I have been accompanied by wonderful, dedicated people, such as all of you who are gathered here today. The UDM is a tight-knit community of patriots, people who care deeply about our country and their fellow citizens, who are committed to the constitutional principles of human dignity, freedom, and equality. 20 years is a remarkable achievement, and we must celebrate it wholeheartedly as we tackle the future, united in our dream to transform South Africa into a winning nation. But it is just the beginning. We are still marching in the foothills of our ambition. The summit lies still some way off, but while there will still be great challenges to overcome, I believe we can get there. I know now that our vision of a fair and just South Africa, in which everyone has the chance of decent life, served by an honest, accountable government, enhanced by a truly competitive, multi-party democracy, is within reach. Now let me turn in conclusion to the pledge of the UDM to the people of South Africa. The UDM today recommits itself to its vision, which is we are the political home of all South Africans, united in the spirit of South Africa, of South Africanism, by common passion for our country, mobilizing the creative power inherent in our rich diversity towards our transformation into a winning nation. The UDM today commits itself to continue to uphold our three pillars, namely integrity, dignity, and prosperity. We pledge to work for a better performance in the 2019 national and provincial elections so that we can do our part to improve the lives of the people of South Africa. The UDM shall be a party that breathes life into itself and in turn gives hope to South Africans so that they can find cause to associate with. The UDM will engage in a process of re-engineering and repositioning itself so that it can effectively defend the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa and uphold the rule of law. Promise respect for the principles and values that unite us. We will canvass for an all-inclusive participation of citizens in a sustainable, growing, and distributive economy. Fight inequality and any form of discrimination based on race, gender, religion, language, and sexual orientation. Since 1994, we have welcomed people from Asia, Americas, Europe, and our continent. And in dealing with them, we must be guided by the Constitution and international conventions. South Africa must be a safe place for all. We must uphold the freedom of religion, culture, languages, and the traditions of our diverse communities. We must promote tolerance and understanding among South Africans, endeavor to ensure that government at all three levels function effectively and that the interests of the entire population are best served. We must work for the expansion of the care for the most vulnerable in society. We must campaign tirelessly for improved health care as well as accessible quality education. Yes, we must work for speedy provision of quality services to all citizens, in particular the poor. We must campaign for electoral reforms so that the people can directly elect honest leaders, thus ensuring their participation in all forms of government, whilst enhancing accountability of all public office bearers. And finally, we must inspire citizens to build a better South Africa. Now, ndingandibuze nje umbuzo apha. Apha nigcwele abanye bamengenyawo it's about 2,500 delegates or more. Nike nindixele nje kwendawo nisuka kuzo ba uyayazi ni member yakho eParliament. I-answer izaba ngudololo. Because kaloku ngoku le proportional representation esetyenziswayo ufakwa abantu nje elistini. Kanti ngoku xa ngaba ninoke ninikwe i-opportunity nizonyulele i-MPs zenu njengoba nidla kwenza nonyule i-ward candidate, i-committee, ward councillors. Sithi uba mayilahlwe i-proportional, kodwa sithi mayixutywe ukwenzela kube khona i-accountability noko. At the same time, loo nto izawuninika xa sinowutshintsha lo mthetho, ninikwe ne-chance yozonyulela wenu umongameli. Hayi into yoba sifakelwe irhoboqwane eli-suspect, line-charges ezininzi kuthiwe lizawulawula thina. Yinto eyavela phi na ANC nenza ntoni makwethini? Tyhini, phantsi ngamasela phantsi! In conclusion, we must unite South Africans from all communities in a political home built on the foundation of the principles and ideals of our Constitution, as inspired by our unifying love of our country and her people. They are amongst the activities that define the character of the UTM and will determine its future ascendancy. These are the marching orders for all UTM members and leaders. It's time to go back to basics and make the UTM the political home for all, a modern political party of the 21st century. So, my friends, the fight goes on. Integrity must triumph. We will never yield our quest to ensure dignity for all South Africans. The UTM's dreams for a prosperous South Africa will never die. Let us move towards a united future. Namhlanje ke sithi kaniphindelene emakhaya. Siyolauncha ama-branches ikona nekona, istrato nestrato. Ukwenzela into yoba ngo-2019 sithi xa ku-announce results sithethe with authority. Uba ngaba sithi mhlambi kuNkosazana okanye nguCyril okanye nguLindiwe Sisulu okanye nguJeff Radebe uzawukhompithela ubupresident, sithi nathi sikhona siyangena. So funeka siyodophola. Sithi make sure we are ready. Amandla! Phansi ngamasela phansi! Awuwe umbuso wamasela awuwe! Enkosi.
Amandla! Holomisa luna, holomisa lo, bangamaziyo, bangazangemba. Tulani Makabani, the president of the Thank you. Amandla! Amandla! Thank you, President, for that very comprehensive address, which, no doubt, in my view, has given us the marching orders going to 2019. Lama kabana pumayo, can they do so quietly, please, so that ningaphazamisi program? Clear marching orders going to 2019. There are just one or two things I want you to underscore before I call the next speaker. Is the important issue around integrity. General and integrity, issue enkulu, uyithanda ukufa. I'll give an example. Before he came to the podium, he was going on and saying, we said I'm going to speak at 12. We can't lie to South Africans and now end up speaking at 12:10. Do we make sure that we deliver on our promise? It's congruence between word and deed, between what you say and what you end up doing. But I think what is also important here in terms of these marching orders is that I like how John Maxwell describes integrity, President, in underscoring your message. He said in one of his books, The 4 Pillars of Leadership, he says, integrity commits itself to character over personal gain, to people over things, to service over power, to principle over convenience, to the long view over the immediate. If you look at that quote, it covers the key elements of everything that was contained in the President's address. In a nutshell, that's what the President was telling us to say. We have a duty to play in the leadership of the country. We have to face, obviously, internally to say, how do we ready ourselves for the important task of leading the nation? But President, before I sit down, I think you also mentioned a very important issue. I'd be a terrible economist if I did not pick up on this issue, where you're talking about radical economic transformation. Recently, there is a prominent businessman who criticized the notion and the concept of radical economic transformation, calling it a code word or name for theft, right? Grand larceny, as I would put it. I don't think the problem is with the concept per se, as we go to South Africans. The problem is with how the ANC has decided to hijack the concept and made it turned it into an instrument that facilitates looting. So we must say, when we go to people and talk about this radical economic transformation, we give it meaning, as you did in your address. But we also say to South Africans that, and to even business people, that it is not possible to solve or address South Africa's pathologies without first addressing issues of inequality and poverty. The problem, President, and the meeting with being a deputy is that I could not politic before you spoke because I would have preempted your speech. Now that you've spoken, I can't speak again because you've given the marching orders. But I'm not speaking, I'm underscoring points. I think there's one point, President, in agreeing with you before I call the next speaker. I think this point is important because it is also captured in your speech. It may have been said by someone who had a very dodgy past to some extent, Woodrow Wilson, in 1907, because it captures the essence of what you were saying, President. When you said, he says, Woodrow Wilson, who was an American president many moons ago, he says, we live in an age disturbed, confused, bewildered, afraid of its own forces in search, not merely of its road, but even of its direction. There are many voices of counsel, but few voices of vision. There is much excitement and feverish activity, but little concert of thoughtful purpose. We are distressed by our own ungoverned and directed energies and do many things, but nothing for long. It is our duty to find ourselves. I think this applies more especially to the state of the nation as we are putting it. That instead of saying to South Africans, it is your duty to find yourselves, or to find ourselves as a nation, you are saying we have an important role to play in ensuring that the nation finds itself. It finds the direction it yambile. We've had to change the program a bit, change it around so that to accommodate the President's address and make sure that we did everything on time. Now we're going to take you on a trip down the memory lane to show you where we came from, where we are, and where we're going. In summary, in line with what the President said. And now, because we are talking and trying to appeal to everyone in South Africa to say, stop asking us questions about who we are and where we come from. We are going to answer those questions now. But also, people, I was following Twitter, President, while we were talking. Some were saying you have failed to groom young leaders. That's very strange because I'm a young leader and I'm standing in front of them and I'm addressing this gathering. I think it's cheap criticism. The other issue is that we paraded other young leaders who have potential here, right? We have other leaders who are sitting here, who are playing prominent roles in their provinces, but the focus tends to be, they tend to overly focus on the President because they want to discredit the organization. We must not be tired. We must do what we believe is right and do it in line with our values of integrity, dignity, and prosperity, as we said, President. Can we now do this trip down the memory lane? Thank you. Viva UDM, viva! Amandla! Phansi ngamasela, phansi! Phansi ngamatutu, phansi! I had to wait for you to say that, Press, so that ngatwanza muka page ngotsho lonto. Now we're going to call upon with Dr. Colin Forbes, to do an important presentation. I think what is important is that, about this presentation in particular, is that it shows that there's many South Africans out there, especially who are in the farming business, who take the task of empowering the people who work for them seriously, who has even given over hectares of land to people who work for him, who are dedicated employees, who've made a difference, to say that we have a responsibility to empower those people as well. With Dr. Colin Forbes, can he come forward so that he can do the presentation as well and talk to us? Because what we're trying to show the people of South Africa is that we work with people who are trying to build a South Africa in which we all look forward to the sunrise of our tomorrow. Thank you, Doc. Over to you, likewise.
Molweni, sanibonani, ninjani. You see, when I used to go to start work in the mornings, I always used to forget the last part of that greeting, which is ninjani. And it turns out that is the respect part. How are you? And I'm actually interested in how you are. So people can change. And I certainly have changed. And many other farmers like myself have changed. We've seen the need in our country and the urgent need for rural development to take place and for people to become empowered. But before I start, I'm going to start with some of my farm workers who do not have a good school education career. They didn't get the opportunity. But that doesn't mean to say that, Shem, I'm our farm workers, you know. These guys are professors of farming. And I'd just like to ask them to stand up quickly so you can see who they are. Awusugumane madoda. These are the guys that make my farming business run. I'm at the rudder, and I sort of show the general direction that we must be heading in. But the people that drive my farming business, here they are. And I ask the...
Amandla! Can we silence those comrades? Tell them to keep quiet. Who are busy blowing whistles at the back. Ask for matching, please. All right, over to you, Doc. Sorry for that.
As I was saying, ulimi lami ubutoto. We've been talking about it a lot here in English, but that's the only language that I think everybody can understand. It can easily also be recognized whether I'm telling lies or whether I'm telling the truth. But before I carry on, I'd just like to congratulate the president of the UDM, the vice president, the national executive. You honored us with a visit to our farm in Mpumalanga when you heard we were attempting a mentorship initiative. And we felt humbled and grateful. And you took our family and the farming community in as friends, and you will remain our friends. But I'd like to show a video that appeared on a News 24 clip, Beautiful News it's called, of a person from the farm who is attempting to get something more for himself. You see, after seeing that, that clip of Anton Maseko, my main emotion was one of feeling humbled. Because here's a man I've known most of my life, and yet I never realized certain things. How difficult it was on the salary he had been getting for his family to survive. Secondly, how a small effort that we're making at giving opportunity to people with potential, how it has a trickle-through effect on his entire family. And basically what I see is that we all talk about land reform and how it should happen and so on, but I'm personally tired of waiting forever for this plan to emerge. And one thing that I learned as a farmer, one of the main maxims perhaps, is do your plan now. Don't wait. Even if it's not the perfect plan, do it now. That's the one thing I learned. And the other thing that I learned as a maxim for success in farming is no excuses. Nobody must stand and say, uhulumende, or the weather got us, or the tractor broke. These constitute excuses. So in the light of these lessons that I've had in life, we started an initiative. I don't think there's anybody better positioned to, for example, carry on with an opportunity to become an independent commercial farmer than a farm worker who has proved himself over a period of 20, 30 or more years that he has all the credentials. All he needs is management ability. And that's where I can mentor. I see, for example, the people of the UDM can dance. I need mentorship. I need mentorship. I cannot. But it is a skill that can be transferred by someone who's had lots of experience to another person. So if I can just move on to the next slide. I know that the leader of the UDM has an interest and a passion for rugby, and indeed he was vice captain of the parliamentary rugby team. Why he was not captain is the subject of an investigation, but state capture is not suspected in this case. I show this picture because this is the rugby sevens. They've been around since 2006. It's relatively new, but playing in all the major cities of the world over the course of the year, these guys, you see people of many colors there, but there's not a South African that cannot be proud of those guys as a team. And if you look at the team ethos, these guys say things like, we are like a band of brothers on and off the field. We play for each other. And a major thing that they say is that one person is not more important than another. You can fade my mic at any time. I realize. This is the sort of danger that you can face on a farm, and you realize you're completely alone except for your friends, who are your farm laborers. That's what awaits you, a united South Africa. Nobody knows better than South Africans what it feels and how good it feels to win. And it's all about communication. There are 3 members there of that team that became World Series Sevens Player of the Year. They're there. And this last clip to end. This is a guy from the Eastern Cape. I'm going to be clipped any second now. My mic is going to be faded. The plan is this, and I'll give it in a few seconds, Mr. Kwangwa. The plan is this. Firstly, an area of land has been given over. But the plan is, firstly, I provide mentorship free of charge in the management aspects of farming. Secondly, I stand surety for the production loan. It costs over R1 million, but people can't access any money. Any money. It's not a gift. I stand surety for the loan, but am I going to mentor in some sort of half-hearted way if it's my money there on the line? No. And the last thing that I do is I give free use of all my equipment. In what other parallel universe is that possible? I thank you.
Thank you, Doc. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Doc. It shows that once again the UDM brings solutions. It doesn't just lament and complain about problems without bringing any solutions. We are now going to, without wasting too much time, going to call upon the Young Professionals Forum to give us 3 minutes, please, because we believe that once students have graduated, it's important for us to create a platform where they can then plow back into the organization, but also use them to plow back into society at large. So I think it's important for us to call upon Hazel Makeke, strictly 3 minutes.